What's up, military millionaires? Today, I want to talk to you about how I replaced my income in 5 years. Let me know if you like this angle. I got a new lens on the camera and I'm testing it out, trying to play around with locations and stuff. But this is a video that a couple of people have asked me to document or talk about how I've managed to accomplish the whole replacing income thing. And I bought my first property in December of 2015, which is like 5 years and 3 months ago, 5 years and 2 months ago. And at that time I probably didn't have a negative net worth because I had some money in my TSP, but I had credit card debt, no money to show in my checking account, savings account. So it was pretty close. If it wasn't negative, it was definitely not very positive, right? My net worth was nothing to be proud of at all. That is for sure. And now net worth is getting pretty close on halfway to $1 million. Income has been replaced so far this, honestly, by April, I'll make more money this year than I would in the Marine Corps. Not saying that to brag, just kind of crazy. And some of that's from the sale of properties. So that's not necessarily like recurring income, but my monthly cash flow. Well, you know what? Here, let's go full disclosure. Hang on. All right. So total passive income last month was $4,668.78. In the month prior, it was $4,781.27. Month prior, $3,611. December, $3,548. November was $1,860. Didn't have any real estate cash flow that month. Had some rough expenses, but I mean, it's growing, right? And averaged out, let's see, over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. We're looking at, averaged out, we're looking at $3,400 and some change every month for the last little while. So anyway, all that to say, that's not meant to brag, but just showing like it's a lot, and it's been growing. So that 3,400, like that's a lot more now than it was. So my goal when I first started real estate investing was $5,000 a month passively. Looks like I'm going to be there very soon, but then I also have a lot more active income than I ever thought I would. In fact, I'm selling over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I've made like 40 grand selling properties. So yeah, I mean, that's pre-tax, that's active income, so that's going to get taxed a lot higher. But anyway, all that to say, I just wanted to do a quick video about kind of how I've gotten here, and see if, maybe this gives some ideas for some of you as far as some things that you can do to bring in some income. So the first thing, step one, I kind of talked about this already. I house hacked. So I bought a duplex in December 2015, lived in one half, rented the other. Then when I moved out, it cash flowed. That's like my favorite strategy ever. And then number two, and this was actually in February of 2018. In fact, I just shared in the group a video where in February 2018, so like at the beginning of March, I made a video about February 2018 where it's talking about my goals and some of the things I accomplished. And I talked about starting a website, starting a Facebook group. I mean, so that is very much just hit 3 years and that thing's exploded. Chances are that if you're watching this, it's because of all that. So I began documenting the journey from military to millionaire, which is what the whole journey's about. And then ramped up content creation was next. Once I realized stuff started working, I was like, oh crap, I need to double down on this. I went from 1 video a week to 2 videos a week, one of which was a podcast, to 3 videos a week, one of which was kind of like a wealth video, like a ad lib video, kind of like this, where I'm just sitting in like just some bullet points that I'm just talking about. And then I even ramped up to some weeks I did 4 videos, 5 videos. That's YouTube. And then Instagram, I was doing like daily. Facebook, I started posting more, doing some challenges to invite people, to just really grow the group. And then the podcast grew fairly organically to like 5,000 downloads a month and then some. And so I just kind of doubled down on the content because I think content's extremely powerful. And eventually YouTube started paying me. I make about $400 or $500 a month right now through YouTube. And then step 4. I networked with everyone. I was taking intro calls every day. Anyone who said I needed to meet someone, I would. If it was someone on Instagram who hit me up, I would. I kind of had to back off of that because, unfortunately, a lot of people, they just want to, like, they pick your brain, so they get that 15 minutes, and instead of, like, thinking about questions that are worth asking, they just kind of ask you. Like, some people are just draining, and it's a bummer to say that because I loved talking to people and doing intro calls and stuff, but there are just some people who kind of take advantage of it and just want you to hold their hand and they want to keep scheduling calls. And I just couldn't sustain that while also trying to build everything. So I've slowed down on who I allow to do the intro calls, but I still try to network with everybody I can and try to make that like high level networking. I still go to dinners, still do Zoom calls, like whatever, and I try to get out and reach out to and talk to as many people as humanly possible, because being a connector is extremely powerful. The next thing, I slowly built out monetization strategies. This did not happen overnight. In fact, I lost money in 2018 starting everything, and I'm pretty sure I lost money in 2019 too. I don't think it was until last year that I finally started like fairly consistently being in the green. I don't even know if I had a month that was in the green, except for like maybe 1 or 2 in 2019 until 2020. I mean, it was like pay money for podcasts, pay money for YouTube, pay money for this, buy a camera, buy a lens, buy this, do this. If I did make some money, reinvest it in this, a microphone, a new lens, whatever, right? Like I was not making money. I was losing money. I was literally paying to spend 20, 30, 40, 50 hours a week on a side project with no knowledge about whether or not it was going to build me an income source. Gradually, it started to make money, right? So I started to build out some monetization strategies, and I'll go through some of my actual income streams here in a minute. But yeah, it was a gradual, slow process. It wasn't anything crazy, but and then the last thing there, the sixth thing was I didn't grow into my income. Now, I mean, granted, my income or my expenses have definitely increased because I go out to a nicer dinner every now and then. I treat myself to something like a weekend at a cabin to kind of relax. Or last weekend I flew an airplane, like a stunt acrobatic plane. I'll show you guys a video about that whenever it comes out. But I tried to make sure that I was still within my means, right? My expenses have increased a little bit, but a lot of those are like one-time expenditures or business expenses as opposed to like recurring things. I didn't go out and buy a new car, nice car. I could easily go buy a Tesla or whatever. Won't for a little while. I didn't go buy a lot of like recurring toys. I didn't increase my, whatever it is subscription that you want to increase, right? I kept my gym membership low. I kept a lot of memberships low. I used On Base still for gym. I just trying to keep those expenses low. Still go to the grocery store and buy my own food. Sometimes I cook, sometimes I meal prep, it is what it is, but try to avoid eating out too much unless it's for like a networking thing that I can write off. So just keeping those expenses in check. And I think that's huge, right? So to talk some income streams, right? So the first one is rental cash flow. So last month I made $1,563 through rental cash flow. The month prior, $1,371. Month prior was $646. That was the month with all the crazy expenses. Then $1,257, $1,515. So fairly consistent, anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a month right now in rental income. And that's total, like that's cash flow. That's not including principal pay down. That's not including money that goes back into the account for budgeting for maintenance, repairs, like that's legitimate, pure cash flow. I get to keep it. I claim it on my taxes and then write it off with depreciation and other expenditures. But that's like legit hits my bank account as a check at the end of every month, right? The next thing was wholesaling and wholetailing. So this has been more recent, but this is the active income where I'm making $45,000 right now. And I am, I mean, it's not like consistent, but like this last week I made, I sold 3 houses that are going to make me like $45,000. One of them actually closes tomorrow. Had a little issue with that guy. You might have seen my Facebook post about him being super slimy and trying to weasel his way into a discount at the end. So I'm probably going to make a little bit less on that just to close it in time. But all in all, still really good week. And I bought another one on Friday that I'm going to turn around and list for like $10,000 profit. And I'm going to keep doing that. I just sent out my next box of mailers. And so that I don't really like wholesaling so much as wholetailing. I actually prefer to buy the house, fix it up a little bit and list it. I think that's a lot easier. Yeah, there's some downsides to that, but overall, with the way the market is right now, not really struggling to get those things listed, doing all right with it. So yeah. The next thing was content production, right? So right now there's some stuff that kind of ties into that. I make, let's see, looking at my little thing here, I made last month $385 through YouTube, $70 through helping people edit their podcasts. So I kind of connect. I have like a little podcast, veterans media services where I took my guys who I loved and just kind of white labeled. I took them under my brand a little bit. I don't make much money from helping people out with that. I got a few people who use their podcast editing services, and even with my little cut for pulling it all together, they still way cheaper than anything else you're going to find for full service podcast editing. So yeah, been good. I make a little bit of money, but Like I said, $70, right? So it's not a whole lot of money for given the effort that goes into kind of pulling all that together. So made a whopping $19.95 from Amazon. They cut their commission for affiliates, so it's garbage. Made a little bit of money. I think $87 for another affiliate, $55 for another affiliate, $17. So all in, probably $150 from affiliates. So not really much. All these people who talk about affiliate income, yeah, I guess you can make money doing it, but it's not much. Like, it's not like I'm out here getting rich from recommending stuff. And of course, I only recommend things that I really believe in anyway. So I'm sure there's more money to be made through affiliates and referrals. Probably would make a lot more if I started like trying to be an affiliate rep for like whole life insurance, because God, those guys make money off that commission. But you know, I'm not going to push something I don't believe is the right solution for everyone. So the next one here is From 0 to 1 Real Estate Investing for Beginners, my course. I guess it's passive income now because it's built. I made $785.47 last month off my course. I don't charge very much for that. That's probably 8 or 9 course sales, because I have a lot of 50%, not a lot, but I have a 50% discount in my email list that will go out. So if you want to get the discounted price instead of the full price, then subscribe to the email list and stand by for that. Yep, I know, I just gave away my secret. But the only reason I charge for that is because people won't finish it if it's free, right? Like I had a free course, and I even had a Udemy course that was like, I don't know, like $10. And dude, I made less off that last year than I do in 1 month by like 10%. I think I made $80 last year with that cheap course. There's just no value. You will not finish it if it's a free course. And I know you might say, oh, whatever, but like, no, the data's there. I had it as a free course for a little while. Nobody did anything with it. So I bumped it up to like $97. Still cheaper than any course you're going to find out there that'll help you make millions or thousands or whatever in real estate. And, you know, there's some 50% off codes, but yeah, I made almost $800 last month through that. And that's not super consistent. I mean, let's see, if we look back, the month prior, I made $120. And then the month prior, $406, $488, $375, $368, $89, right? So not super consistent there for the course, right? But I don't run ads to it. I don't push people towards it. It just sits there. I don't even try to sell it. I don't market it really. It shows up in my email once for somebody. Every now and then I mention it, but you know, it's there to help people. It's not there. I'm not trying to make $1 million off it. Yeah, I mean, those are the biggest ones. Became a connector, right? So I started doing referrals to other real estate agents and investors and lenders and stuff. I have a license as a real estate agent, so I can make a commission off that, but that's not consistent. It's not passive. There is a little bit of money to be made there, but it's not anything super crazy. A lot of just connecting people, right? And I've made money through connecting people. I've made money through being able to be connected to people. So I think a lot of people miss the whole social media piece. There's a lot of bit of money to be made by just being known and people reaching out to you, and you reaching out to people. I mean, I just did a private lender deal where the guy's going to make $5,000 off lending to me for a very quick return, hoping to hold the house for less than 2 months. And yet on the flip side of that, you know, I'm getting to borrow his money to buy a house that should make me, I don't know, $10,000. So it should be a win-win where we each make a pretty solid chunk of change. And that's through a connection, through networking, right? And there's a couple of those. That's the second or third time I've borrowed money from somebody to do a deal. I'll be doing a lot more of that going forward if these deals keep flowing the way they are. And anyway, so that's kind of how I've replaced my income. Slow roll, right? House hacking, and then saving that money to invest in the next thing, and then more real estate, and then reinvesting that money, and then starting to build a business and reinvesting all of that money. And then it eventually gets to a point where you're like, oh, hey, look at this, I'm making money. So I wanted to make this as mellow as I could, because I don't want this to come in like I'm boasting and like throwing all these like $, million, 2 comma, you know, signs up on here and trying to like, this is not for clout. This is just because I get asked all the time how I did it. And I get asked all the time kind of where my money comes from. And so, you know, here it is. I hope you got something out of this. If you got some questions, throw them below. I'm an open book. I'm happy to talk to you guys about anything. Some of the struggles I've made, some of the things that came a lot easier than I thought, some of the limitations, like whatever you guys want to know. Make sure you subscribe and like that little thumbs up button over there to help the YouTube algorithm realize that this video is worth something to somebody. And have a great day.